We're going to work on hip and back release. Hi everyone. So today we're releasing the hips and the back. We'll work on releasing the hips and the back. So if you have, grab any sort of tennis ball you might have in your house. Some people, if they have dogs, they would have a dog ball. Maybe you have a lacrosse ball, anything that we can work with, which we'll later use on the hips and on the lower back. So if you have one of those, go grab them and then we'll get started. So we'll actually start on the mat today. And I'll put this at an angle. You'll have your right leg in front. So if you just joined, we'll need a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, dog fetching ball, anything you have like that. Or if you have the end of a dumbbell, you can use that too, because they have that half round shape. So we use that later on to dig into some parts of the glutes that can lock up the hips and the lower back. Okay, for now, place your right foot in front, back left knee is down, arms are out. We're going to go across to the left, across to the right. We'll do that for 45 seconds. See what you can access. My back has been pretty tight, so I can go a little further to the left, and I'm a bit more limited on the right side. We have 15 more seconds. And our last 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then switch sides. So left leg comes up, right knee. Maybe twist a bit deeper now that we've started to warm up the spine. So we're opening up the upper back, opening up the hips. 10 seconds. This is all very gentle. Okay, and then switch back to the first side. So your right foot is in front. Now we're going to lift the arms, push into the hips, lower the arms, move your hips back. My hamstrings are tight. We'll do this 15 times. So I have to go a little carefully on the way back until the leg is a little warmed up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to pick up my pace. 5 more. 2. And last one. Okay, switch legs. Left leg in front. And same thing, you're moving the arms up, sinking into the hip flexor, moving the arms down into the hamstring. Open up, open up. 15 times. This is 3 for me. 4. So when you're sitting or running as like your form of exercise, there can be a bit of pull of the front muscles that pulls you into a position that locks up your back. So for me, I was carrying my son, who's heavy now. He weighs 32 pounds, 15 kg. I was going up and down hills. I was sitting and probably not sleeping as well. And so I found myself in this position where my hip flexors were pulling down and my hamstrings were tight. And at some point, this whole area in the hips and the lower back felt like I couldn't stand upright. And sometimes you can just stretch it out, but sometimes it gets so tight that you need to coax the body into becoming more mobile and allowing you to let go. So we're going to work the adductors, abductors. We're going to open up the hip flexors, the deep core muscle, the psoas, the piriformis, and then we'll just work on your lumbar spine in a gentle way so that when you move more freely, on every angle. Okay. So right leg comes out and you're going to push into the hip. That looks really easy when you look at somebody else, but if you really keep this 90-degree angle from the left hip and the right knee, it's not that easy. So just go in and out and in and out. And this one again we'll do for time. So we'll do 45 seconds. This is also good for pelvic floor issues, just having a day a week or 2 days a week where you try doing something at home, but it's not something that is super strenuous. It's more something that releases and allows you to do your other workouts better. We have 10 more seconds. And 3 seconds, 2 and 1. And then switch sides. So right angle between the right hip and the left knee. And we're just going in and out for 45 seconds. Like for me, this feels a little stuck. It almost feels like it's sticky. And that's your muscles, that's your fascia, that's your stress. We're moving again today, which is not easy with a 3-year-old who doesn't understand why. So a lot of people actually wrote me when I asked about it, because a lot of people have left their homes and they're going through the same thing. And then some people who follow me are therapists. So there's a lot of conversation about discussing it with him, explaining it to him, letting him be sad. So we'll do that. Okay. And then we'll go back to the right leg, and now we'll add the arms. So right leg out, left arm up, lean, and come up, just for 15. So we're just deepening that stretch. 3, 4, 5, 5 more. Okay, and then switch sides. On the right knee, left knee out, arm comes up. This side is really odd for me. It just doesn't feel like it makes sense, like this leg feels a little foreign. And I'll just do 5 more here. Okay. All right, and then we'll bring the right knee forward again. This time we'll come into a lunge. So the back heel is off the ground. and you're low. So if this isn't accessible for you, coming down here with your fingers, for now just stay up here. And what we'll do now is we're just moving the hips forward and back. We're unsticking them. So we're pushing into the heel in the back, and then we're pushing the knee forward just a tiny bit. And I'll show you from the side. So you have your right foot in front, back heel, pushing forward and back. And we'll do that for 45 seconds. Creating a lot of length. Creating a lot of space in the toes, actually. And pushing the heels back. Now that we're all just walking around at home, probably without shoes on. We'll just do 5 more seconds. Okay, and then release your back knee down. And from here, place your right hand inside the right foot. Hope you can see that here. And then open up and close for 15. Deepening the stretch in the abductor, so in your inner thigh and in your upper back. And just 2 more. Okay. And for a second, before we switch to the other side, come into child's pose and really feel how we've loosened up and opened up that right leg on the inside, outside, and the back. And just move your hips a little left and right. Be swaying. And then we'll come into this other side lunge. So left leg in front, back knee comes off the ground. And for 45 seconds, we're just going to push the hips forward a bit, push back. The hips are low. There might even be a little bit of a feeling of release here, but you'll mostly feel it in the front leg and even in that top crease that you're leaning onto. We'll do 10 more seconds. Unstick your toes, push your heels back. Okay, and then bring your back knee onto the ground. Left hand inside the left foot. And then open, lean into the leg and close 15 times. Open and close. Five more. Okay. All right, and one more time into child's pose. See if you feel the difference. Now both sides are a little bit more open. And then we're going to rock forward and come into a push-up position on our knees. So feet are up, hips are straight. And from here, just drop your hip. And then push your back up. And then drop your hip. and then push you back up. And drop. So we're not quite doing an upward facing dog, because that can be really hard on the shoulders and arms. And we're not quite on all fours, so we're deepening that stretch. And we'll just do this one more time. Push up, and then walking knees in closer. And then hip circles. So if you look sideways, we're going to move the hip out to the right, forward, out to the left. We'll do that 10 times, counterclockwise. You'll even hear clicking or release. And then reverse. Forward. And 2 more. Okay. So find your tennis ball, lacrosse ball, end of a little dumbbell, so you'd have that handle. And we're going to work with this on the back, or rather on the glutes. So we're going to start off with the ball and place it, if you look at your glutes, there's a spot right in the center. And when you place the ball there, and then let that knee fall out to the side, you'll feel it right away. So you can relax your head down. I'm just going to keep my head up so I can look at the camera. Your left foot is planted. Your right knee falls out, lifts a little, falls out. And we'll do that 15 times. We're trying to ask the fascia and the muscles to release without forcing it, because the body may not do it. And then move it up, move it from that center point. You're going to move it up to where the glute ends and it goes into the lower back. And there's a spot there, which is the glute medius. And then when you lean onto that, you can lower both legs over to that side. And again, just sway a little bit in and out. We'll do that for 15 again, slowly. Okay, and then we'll move it all the way up to under your shoulder blade. And so here, you're still moving the legs to add a little bit of pressure. So the ball or the weight is under your shoulder blade, and you're just moving the legs across a little bit. And again, you should feel that as like almost like a tight guitar strum. And we're doing that 15 times. And I can feel that radiating across to the other side and all the way up and down my back. Okay, and then remove. And we're going to do the other side. So we'll start with that most central point in the glute. The left leg will fall out and come back up. $15 times. And then we'll move it up. So where the top of the glute melts over into the sacrum. but not onto the bone. But there's an area here that is still muscle, and that is often overlooked. So you place the ball here, and now both legs are going to fall over to that side and come back up. And then from there, we'll move the lacrosse ball up to the shoulder blade. Okay, so move it up to the shoulder blade. And here we're still using the legs to shift the weight. "15 times. And just 5 more. Okay, and then remove the lacrosse ball and sit up. And we're going to test whether you have more mobility now. And so if you place the soles of your feet together and you lean forward, you should feel that this whole area and the back have more space. And then when you drop your head, you should feel a little less tension in your upper back. So this is one test, and the other one is just placing your legs in front of you, and you'll let one collapse out to the side and one in, and one collapses in and the other one out to the side. And so you can do this and just massage the legs. And keep your upper back really relaxed, so drop your shoulders. And then extend your legs out straight and lean. So for me, I have really tight hamstrings, and sometimes, like I said, this comes from the back and the hips, and it helps me when I open them up to realize that it wasn't actually a hamstring. So you can keep a slight bend in the knee or keep them straight down and reach, and maybe you have a little bit more mobility here already. So we'll take 5 deep inhales and exhales. And one more. Okay, so today I have to keep this video a little bit shorter, but I would encourage you now to just take a minute or two lying down on your back, and you can hug your knees into your chest and you can roll a little side to side. And then after that, just lie down with your palms turned up and let all of this sink in before you then roll over to one side and sit back up. But I hope this helped. We'll do more of these sort of therapeutic sessions next week. So I will see you Monday, EST American, and Tuesday, AEST in Sydney. Okay. Have a good rest of your day and have a good weekend. Bye.